Man, y'all need to listen up because the doctors are scared. And when the heart doctor is scared, you should probably put the syringe down. We got this dude, Dr. Ryan Francis. He's a fancy British cardiologist. He puts stents in hearts for a living, and he made a video basically saying, hey, why are all the buff dudes dying on my table?
I'm seeing a lot of men on testosterone therapy who are otherwise quite fit and well coming in with heart attacks.
He says in the last few months, he has seen 5 men, fit men, gym rats, dudes who look like they could be on the cover of Men's Health, come in with STEMI heart attacks. That ain't a little chest pain. That is the widowmaker. That is the game over screen. That is your heart muscle literally dying because an artery is completely blocked. And what did they all have in common? They were all fit. No diabetes, non-smokers, low cholesterol, but they were all juiced to the gills on testosterone. And I don't mean they were clinically low. I mean these dudes were in their 40s and 50s walking around with the hormone levels of a horny 18-year-old linebacker. It's the new pandemic, y'all, the fit corpse. You go to the funeral and everybody is confused. He looked so healthy. He had an 8-pack. Yeah, he had an 8-pack, but his blood turned into peanut butter because he was trying to optimize his way into an early grave. The doctor is nervous to even say it. He's like, I know this is anecdotal. Please don't cancel me. Doc, nobody is going to cancel you. The dudes you're talking about are too busy clutching their chests to type a comment.
Just on my own calls, I've clocked up 5 male patients on testosterone therapy recently, and they all have remarkable similarities. They're all very fit guys. Some had fairly minor risk factors like high blood pressure or maybe a slightly elevated cholesterol, but none of them were smokers. All worked out regularly. They were really fit. None were diabetic, and yet they all had massive heart attacks without any preceding angina in their 40s and 50s. The oldest was 58.
Now, let's talk about the cocktail, because it ain't just the juice, it's the stack. The doctor talks about one patient, 50 years old, ripped, comes in with a massive heart attack. The doc asks, what are you taking? And this man lists off the entire inventory of a GNC. Listen to this list.
And the one patient that made me realize something was going on was a few weeks back. And when he came in, I asked him what medications he took, and he said, just an antidepressant. No big deal. I said, anything else? Anything over the counter? And he listed off a collection that immediately rang some alarm bells in my head. He said ginseng, L-carnitine, collagen, ashwagandha, vitamin D, vitamin E, turmeric, lion's mane, shilajit, and a probiotic fiber supplement. This was practically an A to Z of all the hot button things recommended by people like Joe Rogan or Andrew Huberman.
Ginseng, L-carnitine, collagen, ashwagandha, vitamin D, vitamin E, turmeric, lion's mane, shilajit, and a side of testosterone. Bruh, are you trying to live forever or are you trying to become a wizard? That sounds like a potion. Eye of Newton, toe of frog. This is the Andrew Huberman Joe Rogan special. You got dudes waking up at 4 a.m., staring at the sun for dopamine, snorting ashwagandha, injecting test into their ass cheek, taking an ice bath, and then having a heart attack by lunch. You doing all that to optimize what? You work in IT, Gary. You don't need the testosterone levels of a silverback gorilla to answer emails. The doctor said this man looked great for his age. Yeah, on the outside. Inside, his organs were screaming for help. Please stop giving us shilajit. We just want water. These dudes are treating their bodies like a chemistry set, and then they act surprised when the lab blows up.
Sadly, we have no research at the moment regarding this. There is, of course, ample research about the safety of testosterone replacement therapy, i.e. people who have proven clinical deficiency of the hormone. Unsurprisingly, they benefit from replacing it, but not one of these men had levels in the deficient range prior to starting. And those that knew their levels after starting exogenous testosterone, these are all on private systems, so I couldn't access them, they were all in the super normal range, i.e. the level you might expect in a 20-year-old.
Here's the problem. The doctor calls it supernormal levels. See, TRT, testosterone replacement therapy, is supposed to replace what you lost. If your levels are 200, the doc brings you up to 600. Cool, you feel normal. But these dudes, they don't want to be normal. They want to be super normal. They want to be 1200. They want to be 1,500. They are 55 years old trying to outlift their sons. And the doctor noticed something else: resistant hypertension. That's fancy talk for high blood pressure that won't go down no matter what pills we give your ass. Your heart is a pump, right? It's designed to pump blood, not sludge. When you take all that test, your red blood cell count goes up. Your blood gets thick. It's like trying to pump maple syrup through a garden hose. Eventually, the hose bursts.
I'm concerned they're being misled by influencers that testosterone is all gain and no pain, that entirely normal symptoms of aging are being pathologized and men are being promised the ability to turn back the clock to their youth. One of the guys that I treated asked me after I'd opened up his coronary artery, should I stop taking testosterone?
And the saddest part, the guy asked the doctor, after he just got his artery drilled open, "Hey doc, should I stop the test?" Mofo, you just died and came back. Yes, stop the test. It's like getting shot and asking, "Hey, should I stop standing in front of the gun?" They're addicted to the vitality. They're addicted to the feeling. They would rather have a heart attack than feel like a regular 50-year-old man.
I said, look, honestly, I don't know. It can be difficult to stop as your endogenous production, your own production might have reduced, and you can have a paradoxical kind of crash when stopping the therapy.
Now I gotta roast the doctor for a second too, because even the smart guys say dumb shit sometimes. The doctor is worried about telling guys to stop because he says they might have a, quote, paradoxical kind of crash. Paradoxical? Doc, stay in your lane. You are a plumber, cardiologist. You are not an electrician, endocrinologist. There is nothing paradoxical about crashing when you come off of steroids. That is basic biology. If you inject testosterone for 3 years, your balls realize they're not needed. They pack up their bags, they clock out, and they go on permanent vacation. They turn into raisins. Calling it paradoxical is like jumping off a building and calling the splat an unexpected landing. No, gravity worked exactly how it's supposed to work. The good doctor knows hearts, but he clearly skipped Balls 101 in medical school.
Would any of these men have had heart attacks anyway? There's obviously no way to know. All I can say is this feels like something new, and I would love to see some proper research in the field. The world of wellness is the Wild West. People are taking all kinds of strong medicines which are marketed as something different, but they're ultimately pharmaceuticals.
The funniest part, these the same dudes who won't eat a Dorito because seed oils are toxic, but they inject in hormones they don't need. Bruh, I only eat grass-fed beef and organic vegetables. I do cold plunges. I meditate. I optimize my sleep. I track my heart rate variability. And I inject testosterone twice a week, even though my levels are normal.
A reply from another interventional cardiologist said that he's noticing the same thing.
Now, let me be clear about something. If you got actual low testosterone, like blood test confirmed, doctor diagnosed low testosterone, TRT is probably fine. The research shows it's relatively safe for men who actually need it. Might increase your risk of atrial fibrillation or blood clots a bit, but overall, it's not causing heart attacks. But if your levels are normal and you just want to feel like 25 again, that's a different game. That's not replacement therapy. And we don't got research on what happens when healthy men abuse testosterone long term. But we got this one cardiologist saying, I'm seeing heart attacks. Maybe he's onto something. Maybe it's just bad luck. Maybe those 5 patients are outliers. So what's the lesson here? The doctor quoted Tim Ferriss. There is no biological free lunch. And that's the real lesson. You think you can cheat nature? You think you can be 50 years old, take a cocktail of 20 supplements and hormones, drink energy drinks, never sleep, and just optimize your way out of aging? No, the bill always comes due. You can have the body of a Greek god, but if your arteries are clogged like a McDonald's toilet, it don't matter. These influencers, the Rogans, the Hubermans, the TikTok fitness gurus, they ain't gonna be at your bedside when you code blue. Maybe the doc is wrong. Maybe it's correlation, not causation. Maybe all 5 of those dudes would have had heart attacks anyway. Time gonna tell. I'm out. Don't forget to check your blood pressure.